Welcome back to my channel, The Rogue Moose. Today we're going to be reading and reacting to some Am I the Jerk Reddit threads. I tend to let people slide on a few things that they may go through. You know, sometimes they may be having situations or something may be going on in their life that I don't know about. And it's not my place to judge, right? If they act out, it's just a random thing. They could be not feeling good, or there could be a death in the family and they're stressed. So we're going to see what these different situations are and give our opinion. See if we think they're the jerk or if people around them are being jerks. The first one, am I the jerk for not letting my sister's boyfriend attend my wedding? Me, 31 male, and my soon-to-be wife, Tina, 27 female, are getting married at the end of June. Details have been changed to protect identities. We have already gone through finding the venue, catering, flowers, invitations, band, etc. With everything paid for and ready for their big day, we wanted a relatively small wedding. Our guest list started at around 50 people and is now up to 67, including children. There are still some unconfirmed RSVPs too. If all guests invited RSVP, the guest list will be 72. I don't think everyone will show up, as this happens in most weddings. Now to the drama. My sister Melinda, female 19, asked if she could bring her new boyfriend of 1 month, Donnie, male 20, to the wedding. Some background, Melinda is the baby of the family and almost always gets her way. She's very spoiled and generally unaware of what the real world is like. She can always count on our parents to have her back and to cater to her needs. She's sweet and puts on the baby voice to act like she isn't as smart as she actually is. She lacks common sense and can be very selfish at times. I still love her very much, but my parents did and still do treat her better than me. My parents are good parents. However, they do display blatant acts of favoritism toward my other siblings. I am often excluded from family excursions and feel like I can't talk to my parents because they get upset and start the "I guess I'm just a horrible mother" trope. They can be very manipulative and see no wrongdoing on their parts. I don't fault Melinda for this because my parents did it with their parenting. Tina and I said her boyfriend couldn't come due to the catering being paid off, which it is, and it would cost us more money to add him. We also don't want someone who has no connection to us and who most likely won't be in our lives 6 months from now at our wedding. She was single when we sent out invites months ago. She also didn't receive her own invitation because she still lives with my parents. She never had a plus one because she didn't need one and she didn't ask for one. Melinda is a bridesmaid, so she would be busy getting ready and wouldn't be able to sit with or be with her boyfriend until the reception. So he would essentially be just there by himself for over half of the day. We do not know him as they just got together. I don't believe he knows our names. I understand they could be together forever, but I just feel like the relationship is still too new, and I don't see a reason why he would need to see me and Tina commit to each other under God when he doesn't know us or our families. Every important event Melinda attends, she brings different people with her that she is no longer friends with or in relationships with. She also got asked to prom at my proposal by her old boyfriend. That's a weird one. I'll give you that one. That one's... If it's anyone's special day, leave yourself out of it. If you're one of those people that wants to get engaged during someone's wedding, you're a piece of shit and you should never be invited to anything else ever again. They didn't even go to prom together and they broke up. He is in some of her graduation photos. So we told her he couldn't come and she sounded sad but said okay. I thought that was the end of it. Fast forward to the mess, my dad sent me a text saying Donnie was coming to the wedding because we wouldn't have that many people there on our side and there was no reason why he couldn't come. He also said Donnie could have his plate, and this upset me because they were telling us what was going to be happening at our wedding. I also add my parents did give us some money and we used it toward the catering. It paid for most of the food but not all. We still had to pay for the extra people, and any extra people that we add will be out of our pockets. I'm adding this to be fair. Tina's family also helped out financially. We asked for no help from either of our families. Everything we received was offered. We still paid over 3/4 of our wedding by ourselves. After I received this text, I called my parents and expressed to them that I didn't want to argue, but they immediately stated demanding that we let Donnie attend the wedding so that Melinda would have someone to be there with, because she would be bored at the wedding. I explained why I said no, but that soon turned into an argument to where they called me and my soon-to-be wife selfish. They told us we didn't know how weddings worked and my sister would be sad if Donnie couldn't come. I told them that she hasn't been with him very long, and what if they break up? He'll now be in my wedding photos. It then got to the point where they said they weren't coming to the wedding, giving me an ultimatum. I refused and ended the call with them. My parents went on to tell the rest of my family, and now they are telling me to just let him be there, so I won't regret them not coming. My aunt and brother are on my side and think my parents will regret missing this event later on. I'm always being the bigger person in situations like this, and I'm tired of it. It's my wedding, and I think I should choose who I celebrate with. More info, my fiance has done all the wedding planning on her own. I've helped where I can, however, I have a demanding job, and my fiance understands that I'm busy. She has gotten generally no help from her bridesmaids because she understands that this is the biggest day of her life, but not other people's. All of her bridesmaids work full-time except for my sister, and they've done what they can to help out. But my sister has only talked about herself and her hair, her dress, her shoes in regards to any wedding conversations with Tina. She has not helped plan anything for the wedding or plan anything for her bridal shower. She's living with my parents and doesn't have a job and only just recently started going to school. I want to find a way to end this because I don't want the drama to distract from our wedding, and I do want my parents there. At the same time, not if they're acting like this. I believe my wishes and opinions have been ignored for their own, so am I the jerk for not letting my little sister's boyfriend attend my wedding? One, way more details than we needed. That is way too long. I read it all, just wanted to give the full story. However, no, you're not being the jerk. And your parents are dirtbags. Okay? I don't care how they treat you. None of my business. None of anyone's business but yours. If they treat you like shit, get over it. But them demanding that someone comes to your wedding, just tell them no. And if they don't want to be there because you won't let Donnie come, then, dude, just don't. They don't have to show up. They offered some money. If you paid 3/4 of the wedding and you owe them an eighth because your wife's family or fiance, her family helped out, then you pay them back that eighth. But if my parents acted like this, they're not coming to my wedding. I'm weird in the regard that I don't have the same relationship with family that other people in my family do, right? So, like, I prioritize myself and my immediate family, my wife and my daughter. I don't care to have other people involved in my life. I don't care to tell people about my life or be super open about everything that I'm going through or everything that I have going on. You seem to be the opposite, where you want to tell everyone what's going on, but they just gaslight you into you being the bad person anyway. So I would just say, listen, he's not coming. If Melinda doesn't like it, Melinda doesn't have to come, and your parents don't have to come. But for you to make a Reddit thread just going on and on about this is something that off the dome, you should just be like, listen, you're either not coming or you're coming. Either way, Donnie ain't fucking coming. So, no, you're not the jerk, but you need to start being one. All right, next one here. Am I the jerk for not warning the guy who keeps stealing my lunch that my food had something in it he can't eat? I live in a different world than just about everybody. This is insane. Look, don't get me wrong. He shouldn't be stealing your food. Don't get me wrong. He shouldn't be stealing your food. That's pretty messed up, and I don't know why people do that. It's never happened to me, but I know people that it's happened to, and it blows my mind every single time. However, if this person's allergic, you better know the severity of this allergy. Because if they're allergic to the point that they can swell up and die, you just got a murder charge. So you need to be careful, obviously. I think that goes without saying. But I'll read it, and we'll see if you are the jerk still after I read it. Someone at my job has been stealing my lunch out of the communal fridge for weeks. I'm not guessing. I know exactly who it is. This newer guy who started about 2 months ago. If you know exactly who it is, why didn't you just address it? If someone's stealing my food, I'm calling him out. There's no reason for me to even waste time. If it happens once, I don't know who it is what it is. If it happens again and I find out who it is, I'm addressing him. Like, dude, if you need some food, just let me know. I'll buy you food. I will bring you food. But don't steal my food just because you have nothing to eat. And if you, depending on the job, I've worked an office job. You can't really fast during an office job. It's so boring. If you're not out and walking constantly, it's hard to fast. You think about, at least I did, I thought about food all the time. But my new job in this warehouse, I can go, I've fasted 20 hours before for weeks, months, and no issue. So, but this person stealing your food, as soon as I find out who it is, it's on site. Me and them are talking about this or we're fighting. Some context, I follow a pretty strict diet for religious reasons. I can't just run out and grab food from wherever, so I bring homemade meals every single day. It's time consuming, but it's necessary because my options are really limited otherwise. When my food disappears, I'm not eating lunch, period. You don't need it. 1 meal a day works just fine. 3 meals a day works great. 5 meals a day works great. Eating it all throughout the day, you're good. I promise you missing lunch, you'll be okay. Would I be upset? 100%. But if someone just takes my lunch, then I don't eat. It is what it is. There's nowhere nearby I can get something that works for me on short notice. I think this guy figured that out. He follows similar dietary restrictions, and I think he clocked early on that whatever I bring is safe for him to eat. I'm pretty visible about my background, so it wouldn't have been hard to connect the dots. Every time my lunch vanished, he'd be sitting at his desk eating something that looked suspiciously like what I packed that morning. I talked to him about it twice. Okay, so you did talk to him. Both times he completely denied it, acted confused, said he had no idea what I was talking about, so I dropped it and just kept bringing my food because what else am I supposed to do? Stop eating? Last week, my partner made dinner and we had leftovers. The meal had an ingredient in it that is totally normal for me, but that this coworker has a serious restriction against for his own personal reasons. I packed the leftovers for lunch the next day, wrote my name on the container like I always do, didn't list the ingredients because nobody in our office does that. It's a communal fridge full of containers with names on them. That's it. Lunchtime comes, I open the fridge, my food is gone. Shocking. I walk to his desk, he's eating it. I told him straight up that the food he stole has a specific ingredient in it that I know he doesn't eat. He stopped chewing. Started yelling about how I did this on purpose, that I knew about his restriction, deliberately didn't warn him, that I basically booby-trapped my own lunch to catch him. He said I could have just confronted him again instead of letting him eat something he can't have. I told him I did confront him twice. He denied it both times, and I don't owe a thief a detailed breakdown of what's in my personal food. If he didn't steal it, he wouldn't have eaten it. Simple. Went to HR, they reviewed everything, ruled completely in my favor, said stealing food is a policy violation and that I have zero obligation to label ingredients on my own meal. I didn't set anyone up. I brought my own leftovers from home. I brought my own leftovers from my own dinner. I didn't change what I eat to trap him. He made the choice to open a container with someone else's name on it and eat it. Every consequence that followed came from that choice, not mine. Am I the jerk? Okay, so I don't know how long I was just reading that, but you just completely wasted my time and anyone who watches this time or reads this thread. That was lame. There's an ingredient in the food that he can't eat for his own personal reasons. So what? It's a cookie and he's on a strict diet? It's shellfish and he can only eat chicken? Like, no, you're not the jerk. Neither is the guy that ate it. This is just dumb. Like, if it's for religious reasons, cool, but you don't even say what the ingredient is. So for me, I just don't think this happened. And I think you're just trying to make a thread out of nothing, right? Like, you don't say the ingredient. You talk about how some dude's stealing your lunch. You've confronted him twice. He still did it. And then, instead of confronting him again, there was pork in there and he can't eat pork. Sick. No, you're not the jerk. And that story was lame. Next time you're going to post on Reddit, do a better story. Am I the jerk for not wanting to go to work in my day off? Long story short, I, 23 female, was supposed to work yesterday in a closing shift, but I went to a doctor, chiropractor to... Chiropractors aren't doctors. They're chiropractors. Completely different specialty, completely different education. They are not doctors. To check on my back and knees because they've been hurting like hell. Over there, they x-rayed me and checked on me and other stuff where I was told I have a scoliosis and something forming on both knees, which I have flat feet. I don't remember the words well. Then told me I needed to rest up my body well, so I told my boss and she said it was okay. Fast forward today, I got a text from my boss asking if I can come in today since I couldn't come to work yesterday. I am ashamed to say I lied and said that I wasn't in the area, that I was at my grandparents' house because they were taking care of me. I'm really hoping your boss didn't know you went to the chiropractor because this just makes you sound so soft. Your grandparents are taking care of you? Are you 13 or are you 23? After the age of 18, if anyone is taking care of you, outside of the fact that you have a disability, you need to grow up. I don't care if you live with your parents. That's different. That's not taking care of you. You just live with your parents. But if they are purchasing your food and they are doing literally anything for you other than providing a home, you need to grow up and be independent. But your boss falling for the fact that you were at your grandparents' house, not in the area, because they were taking care of you, how did you get there? They picked you up from the chiropractor? They picked you up from the doctor? Did you go in for ACL surgery? Like, I don't know. Let's keep going. I asked my mom if she thinks I did right by lying and staying because I wanted to rest my body, well, since my knees and my feet really still hurt. And she said that I should have at least went in the afternoon a short while so I could get that money at least. Then I asked my boyfriend and he said that I did the right thing because I'm respecting my day off and that none of them are going to accompany me to a hospital, much less pay for it when my back or knees end up hurting badly again. And now I don't know what to think. I feel so guilty for not going, but I also really just want to rest from all the double shifts and the drama that's been going on. What do you guys think? Assuming you're a nurse, I would take the day off. However, I tend to be a little bit more respectful of my employer and my coworkers and try to schedule my appointments, if I ever go to one, for a day off. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You took 2 days off in a row. The first one not scheduled because you went to the chiropractor, but the day after it's scheduled, to me this sounds like it's on purpose, straight up. Like, I think you wanted just 2 days off in a row, so you went to the chiropractor randomly the day before you had a day off. This one is an asshole move. Yes, you are 100% the jerk, not because you didn't go into work, because you missed a day before for a chiropractor appointment and then still didn't go the day after. A chiropractor, one, you can walk into pretty much any chiropractor office. Two, it costs like $50. Now, $50 for me growing up was a lot. Now that I make my own money and stuff, it's not that much. You can't get an appointment scheduled for the day you have off? Yes, you are 100% the jerk for taking 2 days off in a row and missing work for a chiropractor appointment. I work in a warehouse, okay? It is about as white collar as blue collar gets, but I'm still technically considered a blue collar worker. I work with lumber, trim, all this stuff. I lift between 100 pounds to 300 pounds every single day. So compared to what you're doing as I'm assuming a nurse, it is similar. Lifting the same amount of weight, walking on my feet all day. Today I got 14,435 steps in, and I haven't walked outside of work. So, yeah, I'm moving all the time. I wear steel-toe boots every day. My feet don't hurt to that point. My body doesn't hurt to that point. My body doesn't hurt at all after work. You either don't take care of yourself, or you just don't have a pain tolerance at all. And don't get me wrong, I respect what nurses do, especially a CNA. A CNA would be horrible as a job, just being honest. RNs pretty much have it cush, but CNAs are the worst of the worst when it comes to responsibilities as nurses. I have the most respect for nurses. However, if you are one and this is how you're acting, yes, you're the jerk, no question. I will not be on your side in any regard. I'm on your boyfriend's side and saying that you should still take your day off because it was your day off. I'm not on your side because you should have just scheduled your chiropractor appointment for the next day. I'm getting too riled up. Let's move on. Am I the jerk for refusing to pay for my friend again, even though she ended up with nothing to eat? 21 female. I'm in a friend group of 4 girls. We're all college students and work together, so we're pretty close. One of my friends, 22 female Olivia, is almost always short on money when we go out. It started small, so we didn't mind covering her, but it's become a pattern where one of us is always paying. At one point, I covered her full meal, and she ordered around $60 worth of food. You guys going to eat at Gordon Ramsay restaurant, or is she just ordering 16 double cheeseburgers? $60 worth of food? If I took me, my wife, my daughter to a buffet, it cost us maybe $50. So her to eat $60 worth of food, and don't get me wrong, a buffet is cheaper, but she had to have gotten like a $14 appetizer, a $25 meal, and then a $10 dessert. That's ridiculous. Recently, we planned a beach trip and made sure everyone could afford it. Olivia said she could, but when we went out to eat, she said again that she had no money. We were all annoyed. One friend asked why she came if she couldn't afford anything. Olivia started crying and said she just wanted to be included and wouldn't order. None of us offered to pay this time. We ordered and ate in front of her and even changed the subject to random things like dating and work. She just sat there crying and it got awkward, but we were honestly tired of it happening over and over. I do feel bad, but I also don't think it's my responsibility anymore. Now she thinks we're bad friends and things are tense. Am I the jerk? No, it's not even a question, to be honest. If this is a reoccurring thing, the first time I'll pay. Second time, if it's my boy, probably still going to pay. The third time, it's like, dude, what are you spending your money on? Like, you guys work together. You guys are college roommates, if I remember correctly. Yeah, college students and work together. So you may not be roommates, but you are close because you're all in college together. So if she has a job and she isn't contributing to the meal and splitting her part, then no, don't pay. She can sit there and cry all she wants, or she can just not go out with you guys. At the end of the day, if it's my friend, I'm probably going to cover for him every single time because I don't believe in splitting bills. If me and my wife go out to dinner, or me, my wife, my daughter, or me and my parents, or any of them, I'm paying. I don't believe in splitting the bill. I think that's a waste of time and more confusing than it needs to be. So I'd rather just pay and leave it at that. I never ask people to pay me back. I think that's pretty stupid too. Why would you need her to pay you back? You work a job. You're getting that money back regardless. That $60 isn't going to do anything for you, especially now. Depending on what vehicle you drive, that's going to be a tank of gas. So, no, you're not the jerk for not paying for the friend that won't pay for herself. But you guys should just stop letting her come with you. If she wants to be included, she has to start paying for her food. Plain and simple. You guys have too much sympathy. If she's crying and you think it's getting awkward, tell her to leave. I get she's your friend, but she's not eating. She has no reason to be there. She ain't joining the conversation because she's too busy crying over nothing. Make her leave. Next one. I think this is the last one here. Am I the jerk for feeling unappreciative even though my boyfriend genuinely puts in effort? Just not always in the exact romantic ways I imagine. People like you piss me off more than anyone else on earth. Okay, because it says boyfriend, and I don't know if she says her age in here, or his age. If he's your boyfriend and he does anything for you, you should be grateful. There's so many men out there that do nothing for their wives or their girlfriends. You have a boyfriend that puts in effort, that's there for you, that talks to you, that asks you about your day, that does nice things, that does romantic things. And you say, thanks, but it's not really what I want. Stay single for the rest of your life. What do you want? You want rose petals on the ground every time he comes home? Do you want a bubble bath made for you every single night? Do you want a romantic dinner every single night? You want him to do all the cooking, all the cleaning, everything every single day? So that it pleases you? If I gave my wife a stuffed llama, she'd be good. She'd say, oh, thanks. I bought her a PlayStation for Christmas one year. Super appreciative. I try to do little things for my wife every now and then. I don't do it all the time because I can't afford to do it all the time. I want to have fun with her. I want to go bowling. I want to go to the arcade. I want to do all these things with her. So when I have the money to do so, we will go do it. But your boyfriend does something similar where he is trying to put in effort and you just say, thanks, but no thanks. You're a scumbag. I'll read the rest of it, but right now, you are a piece of shit. Not a jerk, a piece of... I've been with my boyfriend for 4 years, and overall, he really does put in a lot of effort into our relationship. He's a student, works on the side, and doesn't come from a wealthy family, but despite that, he usually pays for most of our dates, food, coffee, and little outings. Yeah, no, there is zero possible chance you win me over here. He's a student, works on the side, and doesn't come from a wealthy family. This is me when I met my wife. I was working full-time, I was a full-time college student, and my family when I grew up, my family was extremely poor. So me having any money, never spent it. Unless I needed to get food, it never got spent. So he does all this stuff. He pays for everything. Same way I did with my wife when we first met. Every single date, every single coffee, every single movie, everything I was paying for. And you are on Reddit complaining that he doesn't do enough? Let's keep going, but you have got me royally pissed off. He often brings me random snacks, drinks, or small things he knows I love just because he saw them and thought of me. He also does thoughtful things like do-it-yourself gifts, bigger presents when he saves up, flowers for important occasions like birthdays, anniversaries, Valentine's Day, and even bought us concert tickets for an artist I've wanted to see for a long time. The problem is that I really romanticize certain gestures, especially flowers and handwritten notes. I've told him before that I love flowers and that they make me feel especially seen. And while he does buy me flowers, it's usually for bigger occasions or when he can realistically afford it, not randomly as often as I sometimes imagine. The same goes for handwritten letters. Early in the relationship, I was the one writing long emotional letters for birthdays and anniversaries. And while he absolutely expresses love verbally every day, tells me he loves me, writes supportive messages when I need them, and even wrote me a very long, meaningful paragraph for my birthday when we couldn't be together, he's just not naturally the type to do handwritten romantic notes and never did. Even though I told him I would want him to do it sometimes, since I would like to keep it. It's similar with pet names too. He wasn't naturally the super affectionate baby love type of person, but over time he started using more nicknames because he knows I like them. Even though it doesn't come naturally to him, sometimes it's not as often as I would want, but he still tries. So logically, I know he loves me. He shows it. He adapts. He listens. He tries. But emotionally, I still sometimes catch myself focusing on what he isn't doing enough instead of everything he already does. My friends basically told me that I'm creating unrealistic expectations because no matter what he does, I sometimes seem to fixate on the one missing romanticized detail. Like, if he pays for everything, plans dates, buys thoughtful gifts, and supports me, I focus on not enough flowers. If he bought flowers constantly, maybe I'd focus on not enough letters. If he wrote notes more often, maybe I'd focus on something else. They think I may be overlooking how loved I actually am because I compare certain gestures to idolized versions of romance and I see online or imagine in my head. And honestly, that might be true. I do feel loved. I do see his effort. I do think he genuinely tries, especially considering his own personality, finances, and limits. But I still struggle with wanting more in certain symbolic ways, even though I know he already gives a lot. So am I the jerk for sometimes feeling unsatisfied anyway? Am I being unfair, ungrateful, or is this a compatibility issue? And how do I stop constantly focusing on specific expectations instead of appreciating the broader picture of how someone loves me? How do you do it? You want flowers? Plant a garden. You want letters? Become a poet. But your boyfriend does all of these things for you, and you're like, nope, not enough flowers, not enough letters. You didn't drive me to this place on this day. Yeah, stay single for life. Until you can find a way to appreciate what your boyfriend does, which it sounds like to an extent you do. And that's me being graceful because I do not like you. I don't even know you, but I don't like you. You notice how much he does, and you notice what his limitations are. Be grateful for everything he's doing and hold on to that because I promise you, the next guy you get, more than likely, will not do the same. Most men don't put in that much effort for their girl, for their wife, for their girlfriend, for whoever it is. Most men aren't doing all that. So, for him to be doing above and beyond stuff for you other than buying you flowers and writing notes, one, it is 2026. Allow him to send you a Word document or something. Writing a note, want your hand cramps, it's exhausting, okay? I used to write papers in cursive in 12 when I was in the 6th grade. But that went away pretty quick. So, yeah, you're the jerk. There's no way for you to swing it. There's no way. Your friends are 100% right in saying that you need to focus on what he's doing good. Screw the flowers. Screw the handwritten notes. You'll get them when you get them. He does everything else with limited budget, and you still don't appreciate it. I tend to be the person that doesn't appreciate things in terms of if I do something good, it doesn't really affect me all that much. I don't celebrate wins. I tend to just focus on what I can do next. You're the type of person who celebrates a win, but then would have rather won and scored 100 points. You would have rather won and gotten 30 assists. You would have rather won and thrown the game-winning pass. It can't be enough for you. For me, winning is enough. But I always want to win more. For you, winning without something added is not enough. And that's why forever, until you make a change, you will be the jerk. Okay, so that is Am I the Jerk on Reddit. So this was, for lack of a better term, interesting. I don't understand how these people function in society, acting the way they do. A lot of these people seem very entitled, and they 100% of the jerk. Other people just are overdramatic, and they need to either put their foot down and be a jerk, or they need to stop complaining and go get a life. Don't come to Reddit and complain if you don't want the honest answer to your question, or if you can't just figure it out on your own, right? Like, everyone could use therapy. I personally don't go, but I do think it's important for a lot of people. So if they need therapy, go get therapy. Go to a therapist, especially this last person, and figure out why you don't love your boyfriend. Why nothing he does will ever be enough for you. And then when you get the answer to that, you come back to Reddit and you let us know how it went. Anyway, you can follow me at Lucas aka Moose on Twitter and Instagram. And then you can follow this show on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Rogue Moose Pod. That is all for today. We'll upload another video tomorrow. Thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.